We have a lot of updates on the case as multiple arrests have been made. I'm going to take you through a breakdown of the investigation carried out by the Karnataka government. But as always, let's begin with the headlines. Modi flags off Vande Bharat train today in Srinagar, boosting connectivity. Prime Minister Modi hits out at Pakistan, vows to crush terror in Kashmir. But the big grand felicitation there that happened of Prime Minister Modi as he flags off the Vande Bharat train in Srinagar. Kamal Haasan joins the Rajya Sabha with the DMK's support. It's an M&M DMK alliance, clear shift there in Tamil Nadu politics. Kamal Haasan now getting the backing of DMK, finally enters the parliament. Big relief for Karnataka State Cricket Association. The High Court directs police not to act against the management until the next hearing. Remember, the Karnataka Cricket Association says law and order, people management, crowd management is not our responsibility. It's the government and the police's responsibility. They reached court and Karnataka High Court has now granted them relief for the moment. Noida imposes strict prohibitory orders between June 7th to 9th over Bakrid. Owing to COVID surge, authorities issue strict warnings. Rahul Gandhi blames the BJP, Nitish Kumar for making Bihar the crime capital of India. Calls for protecting the constitution during a visit to Bihar. Trump versus Elon Musk feud that erupts after EV tax credit cuts. Tesla stock later recovers as tensions ease. Bilawal admits Pakistan sought ceasefire. Calls for RWA and ISI talks. In fact, we're looking at Bilawal admitting that Pakistan was the first one who approached India for a ceasefire, a big revelation post the conflict. And Prime Minister Modi invited to G7 summit by Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney. Visit aims to mend India-Canada diplomatic ties after strain. And Elon Musk Starlink secures a license for SATCOM in India. Elon Musk Starlink will now be operational in India very soon. All right, let me take you through Karnataka government and the big crackdown. Now, a quick look at the number of people arrested. We know that 11 people have died in Bengaluru stampede that happened right here along this area of Vidhan Sauda towards Chinnaswamy Stadium. This barely 500-meter vicinity here is where crowds gathered and surged, eventually went uncontrollable. 11 people who died. The Karnataka government has now arrested 4 people. 4 others who are currently under their radar are absconding. Here's a quick look at the images here. I'm going to take you through first those who have been arrested. Let me take you through Nikhil Sosle, the marketing head of RCB. Nikhil Sosle, who in fact has authority over RCB's branding, marketing, has the pages of RCB, social media pages under his control. The allegations are that Nikhil Sosle put out messages on social platforms claiming that RCB is giving out free passes for people to come inside Chinnaswamy Stadium for the victory parade. Big accusation here. Nikhil Sosle is accused of ordering only 3 gates out of the 22 gates to be open. In fact, there are 22 gates at Chinnaswamy Stadium. Nikhil Sosle and DNA Networks collectively decided all the gates should be shut except for 3 gates. That's 19, 20 and 22. These are the three gates that Nikhil Sosle and the DNA guys collectively decided will be kept open, rest will be shut. So what happened was crowds actually congregating in one area. So Nikhil Sosle has been accused of managing these social handles, putting out messages on the platform saying, come in at this time, come in at 3:30, felicitation at about 4. Different timings that were given confused the crowds, and eventually the stampede happened. Most importantly, RCB did not have a written permission to pull off this event. So Nikhil Sosle, as the man who's the head of marketing for RCB, has now been arrested. In fact, he was arrested while he was trying to abscond. He was arrested from Bengaluru airport is what we hear. Now, apart from that, I'm going to take you through a few more names that have been arrested. That's including Sunil Matthews, who is the VP Business Affairs of DNA Entertainment Networks Private Limited. DNA is the one who actually organized the event at the Chinnaswamy Stadium, and there are allegations that they too were responsible for complete mismanagement of crowds. Like I did mention, they decided unilaterally to close off multiple gates at Chinnaswamy, keep only 3 gates open, had no water bottles, had no emergency teams in place to man the crowds. If at all an emergency, there was hardly any ambulance or medical camps that were set up. So all that is a responsibility of DNA, the event organizers, including Kiran Kumar, who's a senior event manager of DNA Entertainment Networks, also arrested. Also arrested is Sumant, who's the employee of Ticket Genie Solutions. Ticket Genie, who is associated with DNA and RCB to sell tickets. They are also, their representative Sumant has also been arrested there. Now, these are those who have been arrested. In fact, Nikhil Sosle appealed to the Karnataka High Court to quash the arrest or against his arrest, but the court has quashed his bail plea. They all now have been sent to 15-day judicial custody. This is the latest update that we have on those arrested. Now taking you through the people who are currently absconding. A quick look at those who are absconding is A. Shankar, who is the KSCA secretary, the Karnataka Cricket Association secretary. A. Shankar was the man who in fact liaised between the Karnataka government and the KSCA to try and get permissions to hold this event at Chinnaswamy. But we hear that those permissions were not actually physically given in written. Now he's under radar and currently absconding. E.S. Jairam, who's the treasurer of KSCA. Also Rajesh Menon, who's the COO of RCB, along with Majid, who's the director of Ticket Genie, who currently are absconding. They are under radar, but nowhere to be seen. In fact, officials are looking and they're on the hunt for these 4 men who you see on our screens there. So 8 people in total, 4 of them arrested, 4 of them absconding, that the Karnataka government and the police have identified to be those key accused in this unfortunate stampede that killed 11 people in Bengaluru. Highly tragic. Now we're looking at the blame game. Clearly Karnataka government at this point have pinned the blame entirely. Apart from themselves, they pinned it on everybody else. RCB made the event announcement. Police denied parade permission. Police in fact failed in ensuring that the crowds were in control. These are words of the government itself. But the big question is, who gave clearances? Even if RCB sent out a message claiming that this event is going to be happening, this parade is going to be happening, even if there were messages that were sent out, why exactly did the police not actually crack down? How did the government actually have the police man a situation like that? The government says it did not give permission, but how did the event get pulled off? Here is Vidhan Sauda right here, right behind me, where the felicitation happened along with Chinnaswamy Stadium felicitation. Same day, 2 events. If the government says it's police and RCB's responsibility, I'd only ask then, who gave clearance from the government side? This is unfair that the government takes no responsibility. I'm going to quickly bring in Vivek Menon, who joins us for a little more clarity on that. He's been a former advisor to the Chief Minister himself. Vivek, a quick look at the number of arrests and those who in fact are currently absconding. In all, it's all those members who organized the event independently. The government representative who gave those clearances has not been pulled up. In fact, I hear in the latest information coming, Govind Raju, who's Karnataka CM political secretary, he's been sacked. Now, Govind Raju also says, who am I to give any suggestions to the Chief Minister? He's a man of his own. So basically, everybody else has to take the blame, but the ones on the top, none of them have taken any responsibility to take this on themselves.
Absolutely. I think obviously, one of the most disturbing facts is that the police commissioner has actually been suspended. And I think, while a lot of the people who have been arrested as well as who are absconding, I think they should take some of that the responsibility. Some of the culpability lies with them, because at the end of the day, if they did not have permissions to conduct this event, they were in no position to actually start tweeting and using their social media handles to call out to people to show up at Chinnaswamy Stadium. Now, at the end of the day, there were two events that happened adjacent to each other. In fact, I did have one of the Congress functionaries previously on this program who said that that the event at the Vidhana Saudha went off well, and it was at the Chinnaswamy Stadium that all of this happened. Now, at the end of the day, if we know the geography of these two places, they're within half a kilometer of each other, within a earshot of each other. Obviously, the crowds cannot be segregated. The same crowds that were at Vidhana Saudha went also to Chinnaswamy. So I think the government has tied itself up in knots over here, and they've found a few fall guys. Obviously, I completely agree with the fact that the people from RCB, perhaps even from the KSCA, who tweeted or who informed people, they are culpable. But since the police commissioner, obviously they were not in a position, having handled the crowds over the night from 11 onwards all the way up till 9 in the morning, expecting them to show up in full force and give permission for an event the very next day, that's just stretching themselves too thin. And I think, they obviously they say that they did not give permission, but that does not mean that, they could have taken, that the RCB could have taken things into their own hands and just conducted the event. So I think, in a sense, I would have expected Mr. Parmeshwara, the Home Minister, to at least come forward and accept some responsibility. Even if he did not resign, accept responsibility for this, because at the end of the day, they're the ones who are in charge of law and order. But everybody else has lost their head except for, the three top guys. Of course, I didn't expect the CM because, he obviously probably hands it off to a lot of others. But I think the DCM over here, who took center stage at every event. He was at the Vidhana Saudha. I think, see him also at the Chinnaswamy, at the airport. He was obviously taking center stage, and a lot of credit for RCB's win. And I think, the fans were treated like, I don't even want to go there, because they were just, packed in like sardines, held back with gates, all of this. So I think, somewhere the government has to own up to its responsibility. No, they've pretty much fired everyone else.
Isn't there an obvious question that looms? Vivek, I hear you, and exactly what people are thinking right now. How can RCB and DNA and KSCA pull off an event of this magnitude without a government go-ahead? It's beyond us to believe that the government did not agree to an event like this. Now they're going into technicalities, saying we didn't give a written permission. Very smart and very lucky for the government at this point that there's nothing in written to claim that RCB had taken permission from them and they had agreed to it. For us, it's very hard to believe that there was, if at all, there was no written permission. Is it possible for police deployment to be given? It's a question.
Absolutely not, right?
Vivek, if there is no written permission, how was police deployed outside Chinnaswamy?
Right. I think the silver lining to this, if there's one, is that, Justice Kuna, Michael Kuna, who has been put in charge of this inquiry, hopefully he's able to do a non-partisan, just something that's absolutely objective and come out with the real facts so that the people who are culpable can actually be brought to book.
I just, those who have been arrested, I'm going to play those images constantly on our screens there. Let's hope that's playing out. Those arrested, including the DNA, RCB, and Ticket Genie, three of the organizers who have been, their representatives have been taken into custody, sent to 15 days judicial custody now. Their appeals to the court, especially Nikhil Soslay's appeal to court to quash the bail, has been snubbed. He now will stay in judicial custody for 15 days until this investigation goes on. Now, I would like to bring in the Congress KPCC spokesperson here, Satya Prakash. Satya, the police say that they denied permission, but the police itself has to face the axe, while the ones actually who gave the green light from the government side have gotten away scot-free. Sacking your political advisor to Chief Minister Siddaramaiah is not enough. Govindaraju says, who am I to advise the CM? Then who gave the green light? We saw DK Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah right here behind me on the stairs of Vidhan Sauda, greeting, garlanding, hobnobbing with the cricketers. Congress politicians, family members were also part of this entire gala affair. And moments later was the next felicitation in Chinnaswamy. So with what face can the Congress say, we didn't give permission for Chinnaswamy, but you held another one right here on the same day? Stampede could have very well happened even outside Vidhan Sauda. Thankfully it didn't.
Nabila, hi Nabila. Nabila, success has many fathers, but failure has none. This Siddaramaiah government will not shirk away from its responsibility. Yes, but the point what I want to ask today on national television is, there were two events which happened. Let us be fair. There were two events which happened. One event was a government-sponsored program on the recommendation of KSCA. The RCB and KSCA asked the government to hold a felicitation ceremony in front of Vidhan Sauda on 3rd June. Everything is there on record. Okay. So in that particular function, nothing happened because that was an open area. Even if another 30,000 would have come, there would not have been any fiasco there. But the problem is, in Chinnaswamy Stadium, the total capacity of the stadium is 35,000. Maximum you can push another 5 or 10,000 because if people are allowed into the field also, into the playground also, another 10,000. But look at the numbers, sheer numbers that came there, 3.5 lakhs. Any private party wants to host a function of this magnitude should give an undertaking to the government how many people are attending. RCB, when it sought permission, the government felt that only 35,000 people will come there. But look at how many people turned out. So there was an intelligence failure. I'm not telling no. That is why, the intelligence head also has rolled. But please look at the facts. Look at that crowd. It was not manageable. Even if the government would have posted another 1,000 cops also, nothing much could be done. So here, squarely we should blame the RCB and
if
KSCA.
You can't speak in retrospect. Sir, you can't speak in retrospect. As a capable government, you cannot speak in retrospect. You've got, if at all you deployed that kind of numbers, then we could have spoken today that it was beyond your control. You have not deployed those numbers. 1,300 police officers is not enough for 3 lakh people who came in. So, do you admit it's an intelligence failure? Your own minister, Ramlinga Reddy, has admitted it.
No. Why there are only 3 gates open? Did government have any control on the number of gates being open? No. It's up to the RCB and the KSCA management. When they distribute.
Why not? Why didn't the police intervene?
Nabila, can I come in? This rhetoric cannot go on.
We will not
here to listen to sermons from Congress.
We will not play politics on dead bodies. Of course, they are also our own. But we will introspect what went wrong.
What is politics according to you, sir? Who's playing politics? Are you saying questioning you is playing politics? Then let there be politics. If questioning you is politics, then I wouldn't mind politics to be played out a little.
No, on dead bodies politics should not be played because same BJP in their tweet early morning questioned this government that we should give opportunity for people of Karnataka to felicitate the RCB team. And suddenly they change tone. As soon as some untoward incident happens, they change everything. Is that how a responsible opposition behaves? Today, on part of the government, we accept responsibility. I'm not telling you not accept responsibility. That is why heads have rolled. Now there is a COD inquiry. Justice Kunuva is there. Let facts come in front of you. People who are responsible for this fiasco will be punished by this government because we as a responsible government.
I wonder if the CID inquiry will really reveal who in the government has given permission, sir. Let's be honest. Past precedents has never held the government in power responsible. I just hope this time it could change. I've never seen a CID report actually reveal the government's failure. But anyway, we are really having faith in the CID report. Let's wait for it. 30 days time has been given for it to be tabled. But let me tell you, of course, the anger right now that's breeding on the ground, and the pulse that I catch from the people around here in Bangalore city as well, is that people are angry that why is the police being held entirely responsible? The police has very clearly said that they were stretched thin. RCB's match with Punjab happened on Tuesday. On Wednesday itself, celebrations happened without the permission, without the consent of the police. Police say that we were so tired, we were exhausted already. We suggested to the government and to the organizers not to have the felicitation event. Forget about Chinnaswamy. Even the government having that felicitation here at Vidhan Sauda also was not encouraged. The police was clear about it. And what has happened instead? Now that the stampede happened, and when questions are being raised, because some heads have to roll, the Karnataka government has sacked the Cubbon Park police station inspector, the ACP central, the central DCP, Chinnaswamy Stadium cricket in charge, ACP, Commissioner of Police B. Dayananda of Bengaluru. All of these people are those who have been sacked. The Police Commissioner of Bengaluru has been sacked, despite the police very clearly conveying that they cannot handle it. They are tired, but they were almost insisted to go ahead with it.
No, Nabila,
if Congress has to speak here for 20
I'd
minutes,
also bring
there's
in
no point.
Prashant. Yeah.
Yes, Nabila, firstly, 3 people
Prashant,
have got blood on their hands. They are Siddaramaiah, Shivkumar and Parameshwar. These are the 3 people who have blood on their hands, blood of 11 innocent cricket-loving fans. And I would point out exactly as to why they are responsible. The Chief Minister tweets saying that he is felicitating the RCB team outside the Vidhan Sauda and he invites everybody for that. That's point number 1. And then, before the team arrives, the DCM is waiting at the HAL airport, waving RCB flag. He receives the players, then proceeds with them, drops them off to the hotel, then comes to Vidhan Sauda, participates in the felicitation of the players along with the family members of all the politicians. And then the DCM proceeds with the team for a felicitation event in the cricket stadium where the DCM is holding the trophy, kissing the trophy as if he has won the trophy, which means if police had not given permission for the event, how on earth did the Chief Minister felicitate RCB players outside Vidhan Sauda? What made the DCM run to the airport, then to Vidhan Sauda and then to the stadium to be with the players? This is I watched. And DCM was on record praising the efforts of the police, stating that they've done a commendable job given circumstances. Later on, they've backtracked and now suspended police officials. They have caught hold of the ticket agent, which means it is very clear that they don't want the heads to roll. If 3 people are to be responsible, A1 is Siddaramaiah, A2 is Shivkumar, A3 is Parameshwar. Accepting these 3, they are wanting to blame everybody else. Nabila, hear me out. They will blame God tomorrow. They will blame God tomorrow, saying that it was God's will that got so many people there. These people have got no shame. And after having the information that people had died.
Okay. For the moment, there's no point speaking over each other, sir.
Continue the celebrations.
Sir, I hear you.
Nabila, let them complete. After having the information that people had died in the stampede,
I hear you, sir. I hear you.
The DCM continued the celebration inside the stadium, flaunting the trophy, kissing the trophy, which indicates that they are insensitive to people and the loss of life. Therefore, I repeat, blood on the hands of Shivkumar, Siddaramaiah and Parameshwar. These heads have to roll and not of the policemen who were trying to do the duty in whatever limited, circumstances and infrastructure they were provided with. If they were not
absolutely, okay. Satya has to come back. He wants to come back on it. Satya, your take on that? Satya, it's not just about a BJP spokesperson saying this. I can tell you, I can confirm to you that this is the pulse on the ground as well. People are angry. And the questions are, how can an event organization company organize an event without a government go ahead? It's impossible to believe. And you had DK Shivkumar himself inside Chinnaswamy as well.
Nabila, if at all they have not, if at all it is without the government's knowledge, why did the Chief Minister and DCM participate? The Chief Minister
let me have Satya respond to that.
Because it is a government-sponsored
Right, Prashant, let me have Satya respond to that. We hear you.
Yeah, let me respond. Nabila, my BJP counterpart, Mr. Prashant, is saying A1 is the CM, DCM and what all he is saying. For a moment, let us accept. Who will be A1 and A2 for the Hathras incident in UP where 121 people were killed? Will Modi and Yogi be responsible, A1 and A2, for what happened in
Look
Kumbh
at your
Mela where
wily
hundreds of
smile when
people
talking
were
about people.
killed?
This
Will Modi
indicates
and
your
Yogi
mindset.
be A1
You
and
are
A2?
doing politics over dead people. You do not give permissions, you attend events, and you are shamelessly now defending the mass murderers. These three people have led to loss of
All
life
right.
of 11 innocent people, and you're shamelessly linking it. For
This-
you,
this is-
that may be statistics, but for BJP,
As soon as
we are
Modi's
feeding the
name is
pain of
taken,
people.
he will
Look at you
become
shamelessly
more
laughing. Look at you shamelessly
The
laughing.
BJP
As a Congress
counterpart will get
spokesperson, you are
consumed as soon
shamelessly
as his
laughing. You
ideological
must be
father,
ashamed of your
Modi's name
position,
is taken on
Satya
the show.
Prakash.
Please
Like your
understand.
leader Rahul
Will
Gandhi,
Modi
you are laughing at
resign
the
today for what
misery of
happened in
people.
Hathras where
People have
125
died
people were
and you're
killed?
shamelessly
Will
laughing.
Modi and
This
Modi
indicates
resign
where
for what
Congress
happened
is.
during Kumbh
You are
Mela where
not fit to be a
hundreds of
human being
people
in the
were
first
killed?
place. You are
They
not
will
fit to
not,
be a human being in the first
because
place. You're
for
laughing
Modi
when
and
people
Yogi
have
there is
died.
another law.
Have some
I
shame.
thought DK
Have
Shivakumar
some
and
shame.
Siddaramaiah is
Walk out of
done.
this if you cannot
This
handle
is
this.
the ideological
Walk out if you cannot
bankruptcy of
handle.
BJP.
But this
BJP
attitude
is
will
bankrupt
take you
because you
nowhere.
play politics on
People
dead
of
bodies.
Karnataka have listened to you, have seen you do this.
You play
When you
politics on
murdered
dead
people,
bodies.
you're
You please
shamelessly
play
laughing.
politics on dead
Your
bodies.
chief
That is
minister
your
visits a
game plan.
hotel
But
with
we
his
Congress
grandson
party
to save on
will not
masala
play
dosa and badam
politics
halwa
on dead
after
bodies.
people have
We
died.
know that it is our responsibility to the
Shameless
people of
Congress people.
Karnataka,
Let Rahul
and
Gandhi
we have put
respond.
up an
You
inquiry
will not be given
commission.
a chance
The
to speak
inquiry
here.
commission will
Ask
go
you to
into
hold
it.
on. I request you to hold on for the
No,
moment.
this cannot go on.
I request you to hold
The
on
chief
for the
minister
moment. We also have
shamelessly
Joshua,
goes and
who's
eats masala dosa
Joshua
with his
Sinto,
grandson after
who's an
people have been
activist
killed.
joining us as well. I want to bring in Joshua for the moment. Guests, please do not talk over each other. I request you. Joshua Sinto, who's also with us. Joshua, let's leave politics aside. Of course, the bickering will continue. But at this point, the government has held the event organizers responsible. Again, I'm playing those pictures of those arrested on our screens there. You have Nikhil Sosle, RCB marketing manager, and two other representatives of DNA Event Management Company, and one from Genie, Ticket Genie. All of them have been arrested. These are people who government claims had not taken written permission, explicit written permission to hold that event. But ironically, you had government representatives like DK Shivkumar himself part of the Chinnaswamy Stadium felicitation. So is that not, in a way, partaking in an event that you have not given permission for? What does that mean? It basically concludes to say that you are accepting and approving of it, isn't it?
Nabila, good evening. See, this is a complete failure of the state government. See, this is the plight of the citizens of this state also. See, DNA Networks doesn't have the expertise of managing 3 lakh crowds. They are event management company who bring celebrities to the country or venues and do performance. But they plan in well in advance. This event, which you can't plan in 12 hours to gather lakhs of people. So blaming DNA Networks like Sunil Matthew, Nikhil or Kiran doesn't hold good. And Bangalore crowd is not some crowd which is used to this kind of crowds. So the state government is completely responsible for this failure. They should have never given the permission for this. If they have not given also, they should have not conducted this. In case if a VIP movement is there, the government puts in into the thing and they will plan it properly. In case any, see the Congress and BJP are trying to take political mileage out of this. When RCP won this, Congress wanted to take the political mileage of it, bringing them, garlanding them, and then children taking pictures out of it. And now BJP is taking the mileage of this, using this incident. Nobody is worried about the people. Nobody is thinking about the 11 innocent people who died. And there is no talks about what are you going to do next in future. See, you conduct events for money. Okay, that will not work. So you need to think about the people. See, this event should be a wake-up call for you. See, you can't manage 1 lakh or 2 lakh, and you should never do an incident in 12 hours notice. You cannot manage a crowd at any circumstances in 12 hours. So when you know that it is not possible, you shouldn't have done it. You could have stopped it. You didn't stop it. Now when I come, this is what Congress should have done it. They should have not done this event. What they did was wrong. They should take the complete responsibility of it. Instead of talking about Athras or instead of talking about anything else. And BJP should not use this opportunity to blame Congress. You have also done this. Why are you people not talking about the people who lost their lives?
Okay,
Why you want to
I have with me, I have a breaking that's coming in. I have a breaking piece of breaking news that's coming in. Of course, people right now were seething with anger, not just against the government, but certainly there is anger mounting on the cricketers, the RCB, for holding such a massive event, giving out mixed signals, sending out messages saying free entry, come by, then shutting the gates unilaterally without actual permissions, very haphazard management. It's certainly partial blame that has to be taken by the by RCB as well as the event organizers. There's no escaping that. Now, in the midst of all of this, Virat Kohli also faces the heat. We hear there's a complaint that's now been filed, and that's what we're breaking right here. In Karnataka, a formal complaint has been filed against cricketer Virat Kohli at the Cubbon Park police station. In fact, the Cubbon Park police have also accepted this complaint. FIR has been registered also. A clear FIR has been registered after this complaint was filed against RCB. So, a complaint filed against Virat Kohli and a separate FIR filed against RCB as a team. The police clarified that the complaint against Kohli will be considered under the same FIR. All right. So, it means there's one FIR, and in that FIR, RCB is also a party, and so is Virat Kohli, who's accused in the case. The complaint was filed by HM Venkatesh from True Fighters Forum. So, basically, the appeal is that Virat Kohli and RCB should be held responsible for drawing the kind of crowds and giving out mixed signals, confusing people, saying that these passes were free and announcing it on their platforms and drawing such lakhs of people into Chinnaswamy Stadium without actually having a proper mechanism to control it. So this is big news. An FIR, formal FIR has been registered by the Karnataka police against RCB as well as Virat Kohli. Now I don't know what steps will the police take to act on this FIR. At this point, when the stampede happened, Virat Kohli left Bengaluru. In fact, right after the felicitation that evening, Virat Kohli was seen leaving Bengaluru or the following morning. But apart from that, RCB also now to take the blame as an FIR has been formally filed against them. Vivek, if I could bring you in on this, an FIR formally registered against Virat Kohli and RCB. What's your take on this? This was, as much as we blame the government, I would surely say that partial blame has to be taken by RCB and the event organizers. There's no escaping that. But Virat Kohli as a cricketer?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think that's just very high-handed because at the end of the day, he has a fan following, absolutely, but I don't think he invited everybody to the stadium. So RCB, if there are functionaries within RCB, and even them, if they have tweeted and invited people, then yes, they are culpable. Now, at the end of the day, when you think about it, I mean, the Congress spokesperson was trying to dissociate the two events and say that, the event at Vidhan Saudha was different from the one at Chinnaswamy. Now, it was everyone who came to Vidhan Saudha who probably rushed to Chinnaswamy also. So at the end of the day, these two events are interconnected. Now, of course, I think it's extremely high-handed and just out of place to hold a cricketer, who really did not do very much except for win a trophy. For the team, and I think holding him accountable, filing an FIR, even accepting an FIR, I think is just completely misplaced. I mean, I don't think it'll even hold water in a court of law. Now, RCB as a team management, yes. DNA networks, yes. If indeed they did try to hold the event without permission, but that's very hard to believe. Because at the end of the day, you're seeing the DCM, you're seeing all of the Congress functionaries show up at this event, felicitate all of them, and right now, because of what has happened, they're trying to wash their hands off and pin the blame on everyone but themselves. This unfortunate, in fact, I'm extremely disappointed that the police commissioner has been suspended, because at the end of the day, if the police had actually said that they could not hold this event could have been pushed by 2 to 3 days. There would have been adequate time for planning this event. I mean, and I'm speaking as a common Bangalorean, someone who admires the team, yes, but who also loves the city. And we've seen that politicians come and go, the BJP, the JDS, the Congress, they're all cut from the same cloth, right? They're going to pass the blame on to someone else. They were all seen there. Now, I can understand.
I'd like to intervene. For the moment, I'd like to intervene. Vivek, as much... There is a FIR filed against Virat Kohli, and this comes on the heels of a hashtag that's now trending on social platforms. It's hashtag shame on RCB, hashtag arrest Kohli. These are hashtags that have been trending for the last 36 hours. In fact, the anger is fans claim that Virat Kohli left to London soon after the stampede happened. News broke out of 11 people who had died in the stampede, of celebrations that Virat Kohli was very much part of. But Virat Kohli, without meeting the family members, left to London immediately. He took a flight post the news breaking out and went away to London. London is where he resides. He and his wife Anushka left without actually showing concern to the families of those deceased. Angry fans who claim that Virat Kohli showed absolutely no concern towards those grieving. But at the same time, the allegations are that when the stampede happened and when people had died outside the stadium at around 4:35, the celebration went on inside with Virat Kohli there. Of course, government officials alike, well past 6:30. So there was a stampede, people were dying outside, but inside celebrations went on unfazed. And that's why the demand for arresting Virat. Your take on that?
Well, I think, what about the DCM? Can we hold him accountable? He was there. He was there kissing the trophy. I saw him, he was there in full flow with everybody around him. I mean, he took the limelight, in fact, at that point in time. So if Virat Kohli can be held accountable, then I think the DCM also needs to take the blame. Well, he may have shown up to show his condolences. At the end of the day, let me put it very this way. This is a failure on the part of the government machinery, right? Now, they obviously, they didn't foresee the kind of crowds that were going to show up. They didn't foresee what was going to happen in terms of the stampede. But all of this unfolded right in front of their eyes. And today, instead of waiting for an inquiry commission, probably holding some of the people who actually tweeted and brought the crowds there accountable, they're just firing all and sundry. Mr. Govindaraju, I'm not a particular, friend of his or anything of that kind, but he's just been axed again. But I'm extremely miffed that the police commissioner, has been suspended, because at the end of the day, Mr. Parameshwara, who holds that portfolio, needs to take some responsibility. So the DCM and Mr. Parameshwara, and I think the CM, obviously he's in charge of a lot of other things, right?
That would have been wise. Yeah.
But I think they need to take some responsibility for this.
Right. A quick take from Joshua. Right, sir.
Nabila, what I suggest is, a tragedy has happened. Whatever we do, though, we will not be able to get those lives back. We empathize with the family. A responsible government is one that understands why this has happened. It has happened. A tragedy has happened. We all take responsibility holistically. The KSCA should take its responsibility. The RCB should take its responsibility. We as a government also have to take a responsibility, but opposition also has a responsibility towards people of Karnataka and this nation. They also should not forget that. But what I'm saying is, now let us go deep inside, find the root cause, what has happened. Tomorrow, many more such incidents will happen. For that, let us find answers for crowd management of this sort. People without police permission, written permission.
Root cause is something that we are not able to identify. When you say root cause, what is the root cause? Sir, root cause.
Enough is enough.
So when you say root cause is one person in the government, a higher up, a top official giving a go-ahead for an event like this without a written permission, a verbal acknowledgement has happened.
Behave like a responsible opposition. I will behave like a responsible ruling party.
Let it be conducted.
Yeah, a sitting High Court judge should carry out the probe. Absolutely, why not?
Sitting High Court judge should probe it
Yes.
so that the sitting High
Yes,
Court
a very
judge
valid
has
demand.
got
Why
the
can't a
power
sitting High Court
to
judge
summon
carry
the
out a
CM
probe?
and the DCM, whereas the commission appointed by the CM or the magisterial inquiry, they will not have the power to summon the CM. Whereas, let Siddaramaiah write to the Chief Justice requesting him to appoint a High Court judge, sitting High Court judge, to probe into this. Siddaramaiah will never do that because he is aware. The moment the sitting High Court judge probes him, he is aware that the blood on his hands will be exposed and he, his DCM and his Home Minister will have to resign. Therefore, Siddaramaiah will never take the move to have the inquiry by a sitting High Court judge. And Congress spokesperson is laughing away to glory here, shamelessly, after 11 people have lost lives. This indicates the Congress mindset.
I am laughing at your ignorance. I am laughing at your ignorance.
Okay. This indicates Congress mindset. And Siddaramaiah has announced 10 lakhs compensation to the victims. He has announced 10 lakhs number of victims. But whereas, when an elephant trampled a man in Kerala, Siddaramaiah announced 25 lakhs because it was his boss Rahul Gandhi or his sister Priyanka Gandhi's constituency, he announced 25 lakhs compensation when apparently a Karnataka elephant killed a Kerala person. Here he announces 10 lakhs compensation, which means for him, unless his boss Rahul Gandhi or Priyanka Gandhi or Sonia Gandhi dictate things to him, he will not do anything. Therefore, as BJP, we request for a probe by a sitting High Court judge or the Chief Justice and not people appointed by Siddaramaiah. Siddaramaiah should not appoint a person who will verify whether Siddaramaiah is involved or not. Siddaramaiah should not be left to decide whether he is guilty or not. The High Court judge should decide, and that High Court judge should be appointed by the Chief Justice, and Siddaramaiah should not choose from a panel of retired judges whom he favors. He should not be doing it. Let the High Court Chief Justice decide that a sitting High Court judge probe it and truth will come out.
See, that is the prerogative of the state government. It is not prerogative of the man
we've heard
sitting there.
both your points loud and clear. As I am short on time, I'm going to bring in Joshua. Joshua, is it fair to hold a cricketer responsible? Virat Kohli, a FIR has been filed against Virat Kohli. Is it fair to hold a cricketer responsible for a lapse in crowd management and a lapse in the event mismanagement and crowd mismanagement? Can you hold a cricketer responsible? Virat Kohli faces an FIR along with RCB. RCB aside, Virat Kohli individually as a cricketer, can he be blamed? Anger is mounting. Hashtag arrest Virat Kohli is trending on social platforms. It seems like now that's a trickle down
it is very unfair to hold Virat Kohli
activists filing
responsible for this.
a formal case on Virat. Yeah.
No, Nabila, it is very unfair to blame Virat Kohli responsible for this event. He did what he needs to be done, and he was forced to come to the state, and DCM and CM went, they took their photographs with him, they did what all they could do with him, made what best they could do for their political gains. Both Congress wanted to take the advantage of the win that RCB got, they wanted to take the advantage of the fans that Virat had. Now, when the situation went wrong, blaming Virat for this is completely absurd. They should not be doing this. And at the same time, even BJP should not be saying that Siddaramaiah should resign or DCM should be resign or blaming it on RCB or anything. An event of this magnitude should not have been held in Bangalore, and doing this was wrong. They could have waited for 10 days or 15 days or 20 days and planned it properly and could have done it.
BJP
Now, the tragedy has occurred here.
Mr. Joshua, it's the duty of the opposition to point out the lapses of the government. Being a citizen is not enough. It is a duty of the opposition to point out the mistakes of the government.
Why are you not talking
You are
about the
no
lives
one
that
to
has been
say
lost?
BJP should
Why
not
are you
point out the
not talking
mistakes of
about the
Congress.
lives that has been lost?
We have to point out the mistakes of the Congress at every level. How can you say that we should not point out the mistakes of the Congress? The Congress is in soup, we will point it out. They have done a mistake, we will point it out.
And the blame game will continue. And finally, you put the blame on
It
Virat
is not a
Kohli.
blame game.
This will not
The
solve the
heads must
problem.
roll. It must start with Siddaramaiah, Shivkumar and Parameshwar and nobody else. It is not about BJP blaming. People are blaming. People are blaming.
Okay.
Blood on the hands of Siddaramaiah, Shivkumar and Parameshwar. Shame on you, Congress. Shame on Rahul Gandhi. Shame on Priyanka Gandhi.
Shame on all the political parties for what they are doing
Something
about the
out of
situation.
their
They are
hands
trying
and
to
they
take
not
the situation into
react to
their
this.
favor.
You react to when elephant tramples a person, elephant tramples, stop give compensation, but when 11 people have lost their life, you shamelessly come and defend it. Shameless Congress spokesperson here, defending it. You're defending something which you shouldn't be doing. Your conscience should not permit you to defend this. Your conscience should not permit you to defend this. You should have accepted defeat in distance. You have given distance.
I think there's been a breakdown of the governance structure.
Okay, I just have a quick word. The ones who have been arrested currently are in judicial custody. Some of them are absconding. Now, why are they absconding? I wonder what's the real guilt here. We saw, in fact, my colleague Vajiula on the ground, one of them from the KSCA, A. Shankar. He in fact was the man who was mediating between the Karnataka Cricketing Association with the government to try and hold this grand event in Chinnaswamy Stadium. A. Shankar is now absconding. I'm going to play out exactly my colleague Vajiwala trying to get a reaction from him, but he ducks his question and runs away, and ever since he's been absconding. Let's have a
At
look.
least you can tell us who you are, sir. There was confusion in the morning itself. Did the RCB officials or did the RCB management tell you about it?
Was adequate permission given?
Some answer. You will have to tell us how this happened, how it unfolded.
You have an answer to this.
Will KSCA inform us? Will we have a press conference from this side? At least you can tell us who you are, sir. There was confusion in the morning itself. Did the RCB officials or did the RCB management tell you about it?
Was adequate permission given?
Some answer. You will have to tell us how this happened, how it unfolded.
You have an answer to this.
Will KSCA inform us? Will we have a press conference from this side? At least you can tell us who you are, sir. There was confusion in the morning itself. Did the RCB officials or did the RCB management tell you about it?
Was adequate permission given?
Some answer. You will have to tell us how this happened, how it unfolded.
You have an answer to this.
Will KSCA inform us? Will we have a press conference from this side? At least you can tell us who you are, sir. There was confusion in the morning itself.
Right, well, Joshua, if you can tell me a little. KSCA basically says law and order is not our responsibility. Why are you blaming us for it? A. Shankar, the man who's been moving around trying to get permission from the government, ultimately no permission was given, but they organized the event with the government, the deputy CM himself part of the event. But now the man is now a most wanted person in Karnataka. The police are hunting down A. Shankar, but he is absconding. He's also ducking questions when our media try to get a reaction from him. What's your take on this? The Karnataka High Court has given KSCA relief for the moment.
What's the question for me?
What's your take on it? Nabila, if
Yes,
I can come
Joshua.
in real quickly. No.
See, KSA,
Yeah,
if the
yeah,
government
Vivek.
has not given permission, then why did the DCM and CM go for the program? They were not supposed to go for the program, right? Why did they attend this program? Why were they part of this program?
Yeah.
It means they have not given them in writing because they didn't have the time to give them in writing. But they gave go ahead in the verbal thing and they were part of the event. So when they were part of the event, if Virat Kohli could be blamed, why not the Sidramaya and DK Shivakumar could be blamed also? They were also be part of the event. And if they could organize the event in front of Vidhan Sabha, well, why didn't they fail in organizing the event in stadium? It means for them, they can manage it well. But when it comes to the common people, when it comes to the citizens or for the fans, the police are not there. The government is not taking responsibility. And now they are looking for blame games. Suspending the police commissioner is not the answer to the problem or for the tragedy. So this blame game will not work anymore and the government should take the responsibility for what has happened and CM and DCM is also responsible for this.
See, Nabila, even
Okay,
the
all
program
right.
in front
Vivek,
of
you had a
Vidhan
word, a
Sabha-
last word. I'll wrap with you here.
Yeah, see, even the
I
program in
need
front
to
of
be given
Vidhan
time to
Sabha-
rebut whatever he says.
Yeah, go on, sir. Complete your statement.
even the program in front of Vidhan Sabha was not what government of Karnataka planned. It was requested by RCB and KSCA themselves. Based on their request only, we allowed it. Since it was a government program,
Sir,
the CM
it's like
was
saying that I
Nabila,
didn't want to do,
Nabila,
I didn't want to
KSCA
go
also-
for a holiday, but my
Nabila,
friends
please
forced
note
me
this.
and there what I did.
KSCA and RCB
You know-
requested
See, what I'm
that
telling is
Siddaramaya's
basic facts.
grandson must be there.
I will
They
not
also
lie like
requested
what
that
BJP
Ramalingam daughter
lines.
must be
I am
there.
talking
They also
facts.
requested that
I will show you the
Zamir Ahmed
letter
Khan's son must
from
be there.
RCB.
Sir, how can you say that the government was forced to do
Government
it?
of
That the
Karnataka
petition's
state, please
families
state
must
them
be
in front
present
of
there.
Vidhan Sabha.
Is this what Congress
I am
is
having the
talking?
letter.
Did RCB and KSCA
Ask
request
KSCA or RCB to
family
show
members
governments
of
like
Congress
government of
leaders to be
Karnataka's
present
letter.
there? No. Did
How can they
RCB
do the
and
program without
KSCA
authorized letter from the
request
government? You tell me.
family
Sir,
members
Mr.
of
Satya
Congress
Prakash,
leaders to be present
what you
there?
just said that it was not a government's idea to do it, RCB forced them to do it, it falls flat. In fact, it makes you look worse.
I have
Because you
a- I
had
have a
family
letter. I
members
have
of the
a letter
Congress
from
party
RCB and
come
KSCA
here to
state
be part of
government.
that exciting affair. So basically, okay, so basically you got carried away. Are you admitting you got carried away? Are you admitting you got carried away by the fanfare enthusiasm? You got carried away by such a, this celebratory mood. You thought, okay, forget about law and order. We don't care about the people. Let's go and enjoy, meet with the cricketers. You got carried away. Admit it.
We should have clearly
Have
put
a
a
word
letter
in this.
stating that we are not given
I
permission.
think
Second thing is government
There's
has a
not-
Why did you
responsibility. In
order?
spite of not giving permission, if they have gone for their, so the show is on and lakhs of people are there, it is our responsibility. That is why police were there. That is what this commissioner
Nabila,
did.
do one thing.
Today,
Nabila,
this
host
clear
a show outside, inside
Send
Vidhan
it
Sabha
order,
tomorrow.
send
Let
it
us see whether they
inquiry.
permit you to
Send
host
it
it.
inquiry. If the inquiry fails,
Nabila,
use a case
host a
to the
show
commissioner.
outside the Vidhan
Officers,
Sabha
for a
tomorrow
population
without
of 3
permission.
lakh people,
Let us see.
you had metro stations that were completely full. Metro was brimming. You had 9.5 lakh people in metros that were coming. How did you not, your intelligence not catch it? You had people from all different corners. They're not dropping from the sky. You had people from all different corners of Bengaluru slowly, steadily moving towards Chinnaswamy Stadium right from the start of the day. And you had only 1,400 people. You had no additional forces. You had no RAF, Rapid Action Forces.
Congress government will not shirk away from its responsibility like BJP. We are responsible.
Let
That is
them
why we have
resign.
taken action.
Let Siddaramaiah,
That is why
Shivakumar
2
and
inquiries have been there.
Parmeshwar resign then. What nonsense are you talking about shirking responsibility?
BJP.
You have
We
killed
will
11
take
people.
action
I am
responsibly.
short on time, sir. I've let you all quarrel enough and more. I apologize, both of you. I will take Vivek's last word. He wanted to come in. Vivek, I will get your final word on this.
Yeah, I think there's been a complete breakdown in the governance structure here in Karnataka. There is not a single, administrator, a police official who will say no to a politician. We have created demigods out of these politicians and we hold them in such high esteem, which they don't deserve. And I think that's what has led to this entire catastrophe that we have unfolding in front of us. It is a DCM or a CM who's given explicit orders saying that we want to felicitate RCB, we want to felicitate these players, we want to grandstand, we want to make sure that we are seen with these winning players. And I think no one has had the courage to tell them that we cannot hold this event. And I think the breakdown is what has really occurred. No politician is going to take responsibility for it. I think what we really need to do is to strengthen our institutions so that they have the courage to actually tell these politicians that we cannot do things their way and that it will be done as per SOPs, standard operating procedures, as per protocols. And I think that's the only way that we as a city, we as a state, we as a country can move forward. We cannot let these demigods, these politicians who will not take any responsibility for anything whatsoever. I think Parmeshwara is responsible. I think the DCM is responsible. They were both seen at the event. All of the Congress functionaries were seen at this event, and I think it's almost it's a red letter day today for all of us. As a Bangalorean, I'm ashamed.
CM is
You
responsible.
know, okay, that's it. We have no more time, sir.
See, you keep on blaming.
All right, as we
CM,
short on
DCM,
time,
and
Joshua,
Home
quick
Minister,
and final
all
word.
the three are
Why would you say?
The CM,
Right, sir. We have
DCM
no
and
more
Home Minister,
no more
all
time for
the
bickering.
three
I
are
request you,
responsible.
Joshua. I'll end with you on
A1,
one
A2,
question.
A3.
You're an activist yourself. Joshua, RCB is certainly at fault here, sending out messages on their social platforms saying, come by 3 o'clock, come by 5 o'clock, felicitations going to happen, free entry, and absolutely not really foreseeing what kind of crowds that could actually gather. RCB has gone on to put multiple messages on their social platforms without having a written permission at hand. Government responsibility aside, why do you think RCB is also equally responsible here?
I would say RCB is also partly responsible for this tragedy because the program was not supposed to happen after the game. They could have waited for some time. They could have told the government that we can't come now, but they bow down to the government political pressures and they came. Virat Kohli, if you couldn't have made it, you should have told I cannot commit, and the program would have not happened. So in that manner, RCB is also responsible for what has happened here. If they had stopped coming here, then the event would have not happened. They could have changed it. And RCB also wanted to take the mileage out of the situation, and being a private entity, they will try to do what best they can do to make money out of it. And the event organizers try to save money by not putting the things that was supposed to be put in place. They could have opened the gates. They didn't have the manpower. They didn't plan for the manpowers, and all these things caused all this tragedy.
Yes. Absolutely.
So this is where
equal responsibility that RCB should take and DNA must take. Their representatives have been arrested as is expected. But what about the government? Will anyone take responsibility within the government itself for giving a verbal go-ahead for participating in an event that they are not given permission to? Should they not be held accountable? We're going to track the story very closely right here on News 9. I really appreciate all our guests here for joining us. Satya Prakash, Prashant, Vivek and Joshua. I apologize we're short on time, but thank you. Thank you very much. All right, that's it for me here. Nabila Jamal signing off from right outside Vidhan Sauda on News 9. Thanks very much.
In the silence of the night, where the roads carry
Let there be dark. Scorpio N Carbon is here, the big daddy of SUVs.
What is To the Nines?